We'll take a look at our map bans just to see where we actually get to play. And we'll remind you of the 2 maps that have been removed. So
hope it's Villa.
gray those out. Border and Clubhouse. I actually predict either another coastline or another Villa.
That's probably pretty likely. I mean, there are quite a few other maps you would not want to take them to, and bank is...
I think PENTA are banking on this because Vitality would probably ban... There we go. Coastline and Villa banned by Vitality.
Ooh, so
they
Oregon.
They do not want to play that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you wouldn't want to go to Consulate, so it's going to be Oregon.
All right, interesting to see what PENTA would do on Oregon. Of course, both teams have played this, and both teams have won it.
So then that should make for a good show here.
Yep.
I hope we see more of the tower and dining kitchen ideas from Vitality.
I really want to see tower because it hasn't been a site that has worked out too well for the defenders. I know we should be pulling out a stat here to be like, oh, this is the amount of time that it worked. I'll promise you for tomorrow we'll have that stat up for you, right?
I'm not here tomorrow, so you can promise that. Go ahead, that's fine.
You're here tomorrow night. That's all I need.
Yeah.
But we'll have that stat and talk about it. This tower is very much a very interesting site to be on. PENTA Sports, not surprising at all with their current plays. 76% for them, 19 for Vitality, and then a 5% potential draw.
I hate to agree with this one, but this is probably pretty accurate. Just in terms of at least showing so far. I mean, this is only play day 6, but it is still play day 6, meaning they've had 5 matches before this to have at least a draw, and PENTA have not shown any weakness.
Every single team in every single region has had a top performance. However, they've all been knocked down a peg with a draw and even losses. So keep that in mind. We had very similar percentages between Space Station and EG not but a couple of nights ago. And guess where that went?
You never know.
Spoiler, Space Station won.
Well, at least you said spoiler first.
You should have had that half second, though. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, our game is ready. We won't keep you waiting. PENTA Sports versus Vitality. Oregon is the map. Let's head in.
Well, hopefully this will be a good one. If let's see, I didn't recall who was on defense first, but it'd be interesting if Vitality went on defense first and went to one of those bomb sites. But yeah, with PENTA first, probably going to be dorms or laundry. But you never know. They could try and bring out something interesting. We'll see where this ban phase goes, though. This is one where we often see Hibana or Mute banned on this map, but Blackbeard first to go from PENTA. Interesting.
I would have expected more of a glass, but still works out well. I guess there's a bit of... oh, there you go. The glass will... Wait, what? Vitality banned glass?
Maybe they don't want to fight Junus on it. Or Eunice.
Yeah, but they have Zephyr. I don't know. So both Blackbeard and Glass...
He's going to be on Montaigne again.
So the long-range fights will be a bit more doable, really, with these 2 ops removed. Echo will be taken out of the equation by Vitality, as PENTA Sports will go for the last ban. I wonder if it's going to be a Mira. Mira Maestro. Mira. Right.
Probably.
This is pretty much an instant. Valk. Ooh.
Again.
We're going to see Mira on Oregon! Yes! Yes!
You make it sound like you've never seen that before.
No.
Like it's the rarest of treats.
It is a treat. I mean, this is EU. Mira gets banned 85% of the time.
That is a fair point.
Don't leave me sulking in my sadness, Devin.
I thought that's what I was hired for. I'm going to look over my contract again.
Please look in the fine print.
Yeah. Well, Zephyr, as I joked about, at least teasing the Montaigne, if not going to stick it, that is something we saw him do a ton on Clubhouse in the past, which didn't really work, to be honest. We'll see, though. Looks like he could stick it. Go get actually the 1-6 pick over to Smoke. Yep, Zephyr's teasing it. What a tease. He plays a pretty good Capitao, though. So
I'm expecting a lot of Capitao play between Vitality or PENTA.
Yeah.
He's been such a great operator in this season. Not because anything really has changed in his kit or his gun or anything. It's just people realize there's ADSs that you can't really burn through with Hibana anymore, so they're like, oh, let's bring Capitao. But then this setup is very standard. You have Bibu on the Zofia, you got Rafael with the Thermite, so you can open up the couple hatches that you're going to need, and of course Zephyr that can lob in crossbow bolts to deny anything along the hallway, or also the mirror window. And just the biggest thing about the Capitao is that you can control exactly where you want your smokes and fire bolts to be thrown, and that is the biggest thing.
10 seconds left.
I do kind of wonder if Penta were banning the Blackbeard, not just as a general ban, but specifically because Spark has been such a good Blackbeard.
Yeah. That's a good point as well.
Attackers have recovered their
I mean, because it's not something that every team really bans just as a general thing. It seems like it could be a target ban specifically. Fabian looking like he's still waiting to set this mirror up for whatever reason. It looks like he's trying to get it in a very specific position, maybe the farthest over he can. Unfortunately, finally setting up a bulletproof camera there instead of a window. Interesting idea. Something we'd seen a little bit before, because it's hard to get an angle on it that you could destroy it.
No, you know why? Not just that, because that's a very good point. The fact that Capitao will always chuck a tactical crossbow on it means that you have a camera that can see through smokes. Just use it. But I wonder where their mirror windows will get
and they left the other wall soft, as you can see. Fabian's going to open it up. He still has a window, though. If he wants to put one on later, he can. So assuming, let's say that Black Mirror gets destroyed, or not Black Mirror, the bulletproof camera by, say, Bibu, for example, with the Zofia, he could just stick that window up.
Oh no, Kanto coming up from the rush, and Bibu will fight him and win it out. Now that's the thing, it's a fight of the fraggers, and unfortunately, Bibu wins this one. He's been very much used to plays like this.
Yeah, we'll see Pengu playing this very interesting position here on the stairs with Maestro. We'll see if we can hold this off here. And they are taking at least top floor control in the meantime. Spark manages to get Kitchen as well. They still have 2 EE1Ds left and looking to make sure that there's no goo mines before he hides in that corner, potentially.
See, a bit of fire being put down. This mute jammers are trying to do their work against the drones that are coming into laundry. Rafael will set up his...
yeah, mute jammer's not going to matter when you blow that wall.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get the spot on Jonas, who's playing inside of the meeting hall. He runs back, but not fast enough, and Bibu with an easy kill to take down Jonas. It's now his body on the floor. Mira windows will get taken out. As Pengu will come up through the stage. Now he can use this angle, of course, to his advantage. And just play it from the backstage. The Mira window will be set up downstairs as well, as Bibu still has the equipment. Fabian playing from above. Is there anybody on the site except for the Maestro?
Nope.
Oh, there's Goga.
Oh, there you go. Legion Mine's doing the job as well and giving some intel on that push down there. Fortunately, Fabian gets caught out quite a bit and still lives, but Pengu dies in the meantime. So it's all on Fabian and Goga.
Now there's 5 players alive from Vitality as they completely dismantle Penta Sports in this attack. Gas canister being lobbed in. Look at the time. Even with the advantage, it's still standard Vitality play. Goga goes in for the snipe on Rafal, and there's still 2 alive. Last gas canister is thrown in with 7 seconds left on the clock. They can play with the C4, but Bibu will get 1 Zephyr from above, holding the angle, gets the kill on Goga from the school, and that is all that is needed. Vitality still. That time bank. Just watch it.
Just watch. Never a big surprise to see Penta lose some of the first rounds and then come back and win at the end. So definitely the case so far. Dorms is where they'll be going now, though, deciding laundry. Well, we felt out their laundry attack. Not feeling it yet. We're going to switch up the dorms. Maybe change up who they're playing as. Yeah, there we go. The Eunice switching over to the Bandit instead of Goga on Smoke. Pengu this time, although I think Goga played a pretty good Smoke last time. We'll see about those 6 picks if you're not teasing the Montaigne this time.
All right. No Maestro in this one. Not sure it's gonna be.
Could be a 6 pick.
No. I mean, the biggest thing that it offers is obviously a camera that sees through smokes.
There's a 6 pick coming up from Fabian to Pulse. Interesting. Rafael switching hard breachers.
Yeah, and it's another interesting thing is that today we haven't really seen a ton of hard breacher ban.
No,
North America especially really likes to ban either the Habana or the Thermite.
We'll see. There's still plenty of time tomorrow for more bans.
More EU, and that's for sure.
We'll see how this round goes down, though. Interesting to see Fabian play that Pulse on this site in particular, especially if he can stay alive downstairs. Deployable shield, and I like that positioning to an extent to be able to fight that hallway a little bit better if you're creeping out from the doorway of kids. And we see a lot of fights go that way, although a lot of those fights also have to deal with people pushing into that bunks generator room, which is much harder to fight in that deployable shield. Not going to help in that particular fight.
What I'm really expecting here is the attackers to push through into small tower, and from there to try and move in and take control of the kitchen. Just push people away from that position.
Yeah, west side takes are the safest way to approach this, as well as taking big tower at the same time. Yeah, that's how you do it. You have to take both towers. Kixon said that before about how important it is. If you control both towers, it's much better, but we see someone playing in tower up, and it looked like T3, and he is going to get spotted by Rafael, and that's going to make it much harder. And he sees those all-important shoes.
Yeah, Goga has some pretty good kicks.
So he's going to know it's Jaeger.
You know what they say about the little kids with the pumped-up kicks?
No, please tell me.
They better run, out around my bullet.
I think he might be able to, although it looks like he committed a lot of his ADSs to, of course, helping Pengu. So he might only have one at most in the tower to help himself out, or he's just going to be like, I'll shoot everything out of the air somehow. Yeah. They are putting a lot of pressure on him, though. Yeah,
and there's just a lot of time and a lot of utility that potentially can be used, but there's Jonas from below, so they're going to need Jonas to really help them out in this position. Schmutz are going to get thrown in as the calls will get made. The Spark instantly finds the kill on Goga. Jonas is hurt from below as he sprays in, and he takes so much damage, still unable to get the kill. C4 will get thrown out. Not enough in the mag here. The bullet's basically running dry as Bibu will get the kill. A huge entry for Vitality. But Kanto runs up to get one on Rafal. There's at least something that goes away. That is huge. The only hard breacher just got taken down, Devin.
Yeah, that means the attic not going to be an avenue they can use here. They can open up one side of it, but they can't open up the other side, and that means they will be a little more secure. That means Fabian can play that hallway a lot better, and they might just have to use that middle window that puts the pressure on, because that's going to be also a bedroom they can't come through. So they're actually going to have to force their way up white stairs through the windows, or just potentially push down the hallway, which is the riskiest of those options. So I imagine these windows are going to get the most pressure now, which of course makes the attack a lot more predictable. So if Penta can play off of that, combined with the intel that's going to come out from Fabian, they might be able to pre-fire enough shots to make this work, although there will be Zephyr pressuring here. And all three ADSs were right there for Pengu. They really want to keep him alive in here. Although it doesn't really matter for Capital, so that is a case where Zephyr needs to get that firebolt to somehow connect with Pengu.
Definitely doable, and that's exactly what he's going to try to do. He does need information where he's set up, and Pengu will move into the main hallway.
Bomb has been located.
Kanto still in tower, and he's going to peek out and instantly get tagged and taken out by Bride, who's just watching the angle and awaiting Kanto Raketti. Pengu and Fabian last two alive. We'll see if their comms really win this out for them. Pengu being held in place, but not only the E1D, but also the firebolts next to him. The calls will come out as well, as Zephyr will win out the fight, and Fabian is spotted. Spark takes him out. Vitality was as efficient of a round as you can get, and Fabian kind of not there.
Unfortunately, I mean, just heartbeat detector alone is not going to necessarily win you the round, and with the man disadvantage they had, losing two people in the tower was an unfortunate early sacrifice that did not really pay off. And Vitality already up to, like I said, it's not unusual at all for Penta to be down in the beginning, so not that big a deal, but at the same time, I think Vitality have been playing a very good game so far, and it's been working out. You saw it just with the speed at which they finally executed on Goga, for example, when they came in and took him out from the tower. Obviously, they droned him first, which was efficient, and then the finish onto Eunice downstairs on that bandit was just, they were on top of it. They're doing very well in their drone game. This is typical Vitality, right? They do a good job collecting intel on positioning and then executing on it. That's what they do. It takes them a long time sometimes, but they do it. They do it very thoroughly. They lose very few people when they do it, and it works. Now, of course, Penta are going to know that, and it shouldn't be a huge surprise to them that they're going to have to deal with that. Maybe they need to do a little bit more to counter the drone game that's coming out. Maybe some more mute play, for example, or playing some more Vigil to be able to do something against the ability of Vitality to collect that information. Maybe those Evil Eyes even to shoot those drones.
Alright, now, okay, the thing is, here's why I'm not a fan of this setup from Penta. If we can go back to that dining area,
10 seconds left.
They reinforce the sidewall. Now, they do that plus having the castle barricade so that Jonas can bandit trick this. But the problem with this is that you don't really have much information. Eventually, you're going to lose this position.
All they have to do is open the door.
Yeah.
And you're already kind of pinched at that point. I mean,
which is why a lot of teams just completely forego that. They
or put a deployable shield at least.
Yeah, that would be a big help, obviously. But they're going to tap it just to prepare for an eventual push or a run out. I'm a bigger fan of the camera being set up on the wall in the hallway, and it can aid you to look all the way down as well through smokes, just in case there's a push.
And there will be.
The wall is open. Yeah,
it's pretty inevitable. We'll see, though. I mean, they're trying. They're trying a different site here. I mean, they haven't had to switch sites because of winning the sites. They're just switching them to try a different site, which is fun because that's Vitality's strategy usually. Yeah. They're the ones who rotate sites regardless of winning or losing them. So, I don't know. It's interesting to see this, though. I would like to see PENTA win on this just to see whether or not some of these strategies work and how they work. But I don't know. It's a bit of a long shot.
All right. Bibu rotating back into the small tower. Spark just looking on. It's a tight angle that he can hold off the rappel.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Metal shack. And Bibu switching around through his cameras. Zephyr peeking in through the hallways. Immediately the castle barricade will get shot down and destroyed. So there's nothing really to stop them from there. Bride is already taking control of the showers. And it's very good initial map control for Vitality.
Well, that door is going to get open. It's just a matter of timing. Bibu is like thinking about whether or not he wants to go with it. Setting up the Claymore first for a jump out is a smart idea because, well, that's definitely possible because you do want to get a good flank on whoever's holding that door. And it doesn't seem to matter. Still gets the kill on him anyways. Nicely played by Eunice.
Yeah, just from inside the site, he'll get one. Even tag Zephyr pretty darn low. Eunice very low in health himself. Gas canister will get thrown in as the E1D will come in. The spray as well to prevent the bandit from pushing back into them. As we mentioned, eventually you will lose that wall. There you go. Now it's open. Spark waiting for a peek, and he might just be getting this in just a second.
So close, too. There we go.
Can't find the angle. No! Cantor Raketti taking no damage on the Jaeger. He'll get one as now Rafal will get ready to push in. Jonas almost killed there by the bolt. As Rafal will run in and instantly get down. Bride, though, will get the kill on Fabian, who's holding up in the white stairs. We'll go with one more. Zephyr will get a kill. 2 kills here on the Capitao. Still in a 2v1. Zephyr on half health. Calls will make things a bit easier for Zephyr to know what's going on and where the positioning of his opponents is, but there's 10 seconds on the clock, and Kanto rotating back into the showers will put PENTA's first round on the board and make it a 2-1 still in the favor of Vitality.
Yeah, odd enough that the one bomb site they would finally win on defense is the worst one, and good for PENTA, though, making it work.
Tower's debatable.
I think overall, though, Kitchen has been lost more times than Tower, but again, we don't have the stats in front of us for that, but nonetheless, it's one that definitely people preferred a lot less than the other bomb sites. And good for PENTA, but they still have to do 2 more defensive rounds, and of course that can't be the one, so they're going to go back to Laundry and try that one again, and I imagine probably Dorms whether they win this or lose this. We'll see if there's any surprise picks. The lineups from Vitality have been working fairly well. That round obviously was a little bit more of a problem. Some of that due to the fact that they just couldn't handle the peaks that were coming on them on the outside. Well, let's hang out outside this door on Dining and then just get shot from every angle. Seemed like it was not great. And of course, Spark missing his shot onto Kanto in that attic window definitely did not work out well for them. But I liked some of the ideas. Bibu and Zephyr there doing fairly decent for the team, but Goga and Kanto as well doing well for theirs.
Jonas just reinforcing into construction. There's just in case there's a push from there. Interesting thing is that even though the thermite is not banned, after that first round, Vitality to switch all up to the Habana.
Yeah, let's see how Rafael does on that.
10 seconds left.
Back down here on Laundry. Fabian again setting up that window. It looks like he figured out what he was trying to do before in terms of setting it up sort of on 2 different walls right there. It seemed like he was struggling to try and get that exact positioning before. And there's got to be some kind of strategy in terms of why he feels the need to set it up on 2 walls like that. Because you saw him trying to accomplish that earlier and just eventually giving up. So it's definitely going to be important to whatever he's trying to accomplish up there. Although I imagine it might be Goga trying to hold that angle rather than him. So he's probably just going to set that up and probably rotate back down to Laundry like he did previously. I like that Vitality does a good job hiding their drones for their entries. They don't necessarily have to hide them outside. They seem to do a good job getting them inside in the right positions, like we saw them do, for example, on the tower when they caught Goga upstairs in T3. And they're going to clear the top very quickly. Well, quickly for Vitality, I suppose. It looks like there's actually going to be 2 holding this angle here.
Spark just moving in bit by bit. Now, the most important thing is coming in from the west side. We mentioned it a couple of rounds ago, but it's basically the most efficient way of clearing out the defenders from meeting, not just coming in, you know, guns blazing into the lobby. There's also always a good thing to have one player moving into the tower. Personally, I like to put the Dokkaebi on that role because it's much easier to take control of the tower and go for engagements up close and personal. Ooh, Zephyr spotting the feet of the Legion. Unfortunately, cannot get the hit on Kanto or Teddy.
Timing just not working out for him. I mean, it was a nice idea, though. It almost worked in terms of at least getting some damage on him. Getting damage on Kanto is definitely a good idea because he's such a strong fragger normally. Although, you know, they've only gotten, I think, 3 so far, but it's helped.
Yeah, Jonas on the Iron Sight MP7. It seems like the MP7 is the only weapon that people would be very comfortable using the Iron Sights with. I definitely can agree with that.
Yeah, it definitely is one of the few guns that it actually is pretty nice on. They do have a decent amount of control already of lobby and everything else except for meeting hall, which is the big problem. Then, of course, they did not take tower this time, so they're going to be fighting meeting hall from one side from the looks of it. I mean, I guess 2 sides because of the lobby and the kitchen, but still not having the tower side could be a problem for them because it means they can also fall back to site when they get pushed out of meeting if they do, and that's less kills you're going to get towards your actual plant. Predictable hiding on the stage there. Could be a pinch soon.
See the gas canisters going to get thrown out here by Pengu as he rotates back from those tower stairs. Spray into the back as the wall is unreinforced, so Goga takes just a teeny tiny bit of damage, even with 308 through the wall.
Just a flesh wound.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Well, they're definitely setting up here the typical Vitality fashion, 30 seconds left, and they're still getting set up, but they have not lost anyone, which again is typical Vitality.
It usually ends up in a victory for them if that continues to happen. Smoke canisters will get thrown right into the wall here as Goga pushes up unexpected. Ooh, Vitality, Goga with 2, can't find the 3rd, unfortunately. He'll go down to Pengu, refrags instantly onto Brinde. It's now 2 alive as Zephyr has to come all the way up to contest. There's 2 seconds on the clock and Pengu's ready for this. Kanto will get 1 on Zephyr and the last one, the Lion. Not enough time. Everybody's moving and
everybody's grooving.
Everybody's grooving.
Nice play by Goga, though, because they were going for that push, that plant. The fact that he shut them down so fast, because they're always low on time when it comes to go for those plants, is exactly what they needed to do. I mean, forget smoke, forget C-Force, forget Echo. Just run and shoot their face. The old zig trick.
The fact that he not only found the kill on the stairs, but also turned around and got the kill through the hatch onto school. That was pretty impressive.
He almost got a 3rd, too. Like, he was ready to get that 3rd one, just timing didn't work out for him, and he might have also been low on ammo. But we're going to see that dorms again, like I thought we would probably. And if they can win it this time, should be a little bit better. Now, Pengu going to be bringing that mute, assuming he doesn't switch off of it. Might do a little bit better job of denying some of those drones. Like I was saying, that was part of the problem, is Vitality drone very well and use that intel to their advantage. And that's part of the reason they're always alive when they go for the push, with at least 4 of them, because they lose so rarely on those pushes because they push very carefully. Deny them as much as possible with those drones. Make them burn a lot more time to do that droning, and then they have even less for the actual push in the end, especially if you can successfully fall back on site. So we'll see if that makes a difference this round, but that also means it's Fabian on the smoke now instead of Pengu. They're setting up that same deployable shield, though. Well, not to mention, you also have a bandit and a mute, which means there's definitely going to be some denial of walls being open if they have just the one hard breacher of Habana. So they might be able to deny quite a bit of entry here, and this might be a lineup that helps them win. Yeah,
again, the mute and the bandit's something of it's a more of a common thing in Europe, especially. You'll get to see both operators be ran quite a few times in tandem. So, oh, well.
5 seconds left.
Okay, the reinforcement is not usual. Usually you'll reinforce the 2 on your left-hand side and leave the 1 on the right to be open so you can rotate back. Well, in this case, the reverse. 2 on the right, 1 on the left. But I guess there is some rhyme to this reasoning. Instantly, though, going to the tower.
They know Goga's going to be up here, and they're going to take him.
If I'm Goga, I just dropped the hell out of there.
Well, you know what? His job is to just burn as much time as possible because time is the one thing Vitality generally don't have you know, despair. He's just got to stay alive a bit longer. Hopefully he has support from teammates. Last time it was Eunice down there. It might still be the same in terms of how they're holding it. Nonetheless, we're seeing the angles from Capta as well, hoping to catch someone inside without having to use his crossbow bolt so early. But Bibu is the one in charge of this usually. He knows how to fight the angles in terms of getting utility in there. And again, they dedicate most of their ADSs to the other site. Ooh, right to the knee, unfortunately, for Goga as he finally goes down. Could not move either because of the Lion. So good use of the E1D to clear that out.
Yeah, the arrow to the knee is one thing. Bullet to the knee is completely different. Different one. Spark, yet again, a repeat of our very first round with the Bandit and the Jaeger being eliminated off Penta Sports.
Starting to wonder if maybe they should just not bother with that tower, because so far it's just turned into losing 2 people early. Not really good one. Not to mention now they can hack the cams if Brids wants to go over there and do that. Not that it's going to give them a whole lot. They're not playing any camera operators, but nonetheless, still, you don't want to give those up for free.
I did burn a decent chunk of time, but still, there's a lot of time for Vitality. As yet again, we'll remind you, at the last 20 seconds, they kind of live in their own bubble. It's kind of like an avatar kind of thing.
That must be it.
Yeah. Last of the time benders. Bibu.
Well, I was thinking you were talking about before. Spark. Hoping to find the third one.
That's why you don't open that wall, because it just gets pretty easy to actually look on in and have an angle on the cross.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Just be watching the hallway with Spark as just sprays in, spots one in the back, but no damage will be done. Pengu, well, Fabian actually on the smoke is pretty close. Very standard position as well to hold it at this point in the round. And there you go, he's gonna get burned out, but he still gets the kill. Spark goes down. The instant ADS from the IGL of Penta. It's down from below. Pengu will throw up the C4. Will it connect? No, it will not. He has not clicked that button just yet. Oh my God, Kanto, perfect spray. Long range there to turn it into a 3v3, but Ride will get the kill on a Fabian. There's 10 seconds left on the clock. This is when Vitality turn to their own. Pengu unable to get the shot as Kanto will make it happen. He flicks around but cannot find it on Zephyr. 2 seconds left, but the C4 has already been dropped. The diffuser's on the floor. No time, and Vitality forget the most important thing, the objective.
Well, that's the thing that always wins, and a lot of times, to be honest, they usually win on those last-minute pushes, not because they get the plant down, but because they kill everyone. So someone hiding off-site is actually a big problem for Vitality. Because they didn't clear out that last player, that's something they usually do before they go for the push. The fact that they didn't cost them because they're just ready to just kill everyone instead of...
Had Vitality gotten the plant down, it would have been impossible for Pengu to really be able to get up there and get that diffuser out of play, because his C4 was already thrown out and it did not do anything.
Well, the C4, though, to be fair, in that position, leaves it so that they're feeling unsafe swinging into that window. Not to mention, of course, he's watching that window, because you don't know when that C4 will get detonated, and there's not a good angle to try and clear that out. Spark actually tricking things up a little bit here. Eunice, I figured wasn't going to stick on that, but he switches over to Blitz, interestingly enough, the last second. We'll see how that goes.
Attackers need to locate and
we are going to be going to dorms first rather than laundry for Vitality, which is a
alibi,
not tower, but
okay. So I want to see how this is set up, because so far it looks pretty darn standard, having one reinforced wall to deal with the lookout from the balcony, looking into looking in from the main bedroom. They'll have a rotation hole through it into the attic. ADSs are set up now. Penta did set 3 ADSs in the kids' dorm, so that's the difference.
They're going to be going with the bandit, not the mute.
The armory being completely reinforced, so you cannot use that angle. There is a Habana though from Goga, so it is potentially usable.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
We'll see though. I'm curious to see how Eunice is going to go. For whatever reason, he's carrying the diffuser as well, which is unusual for a blitz.
Are they going to try to have him plant?
You can go for that turtle plant. It does help sometimes, but it is a risky thing to do. Is a lot of times he's not in a great position to plant without good coverage from his team. So we'll see if he ends up dropping it. He did drop it. Kanto picked it up, so that makes a little more sense. Fabian open, because I had a feeling if Lion was not banned, Fabian would be on it. But he does play a good Lion, so that is not a bad thing.
He was top of the leaderboards for EU in Season 7 just because of the Lion plays, basically. So, yeah, there's a thing or two that he knows about this operator. Jonas might be used here to clear the lower floor and then possibly push into the white stairs.
Well, he's got to know there's going to be goo mines on there, though. I mean, Brid's playing that Legion, and that's going to be the biggest problem for him trying to push it up those stairs.
And I see the spray with Zephyr will connect Fabian.
Attackers have located a bomb.
What are you doing? Nobody here to support him, and that's 4 kills on to Penta Sports. Only 1 alive. It is all up to Pengu as he takes damage from the smoke. He'll spot the bandit on the rotation and still takes him out. Low on health, no frag grenades, and there's a ton of time to play. The diffuser is right in the main hall here. Quick peek from Zephyr will end it though as Penta lose their first attacking round.
To be fair, that was a terrible attack.
That was absolutely, that was a rush. That was a potential rush, and then nothing worked.
Yeah, they just got shut down so fast. They spent so much time setting up for those white stairs that it became very predictable. Then, of course, Fabian dying on his entry was not the best part of that. And that really cost them quite a bit because he was part of their crossfire to keep the team alive, pushing up the white stairs. Him dying first meant a lot of it fell apart. And there we go, Tower coming out from Vitality, who were looking like they were going to go with another bomb site. But no. I'm not too surprised, though. If anyone's going to do it like that, it's going to be Vitality. We'll see how this goes this time. Let's see if Eunice actually sticks that Ying this time. Maybe, maybe not. Hard to say. I always feel like the timer is almost too long because it teases us forever. Rafael, though, is going to switch over to Jaeger. It looks like Eunice was considering. He actually unchecked for a second there.
Attackers need to locate
I mean,
and defuse
when you do want to select that 6-pick, it takes a bit to like load up. And then prompts you like, hey, are you sure you want to do this?
Hold down the button.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's possible he actually might have just not done it in time. But they're going to play with that Ying now either way.
Alrighty.
He knows what he's doing.
He has had some decent success on the Ying. Kind of flexes around depending on what is required. And you'll see some multiple operators on the attacking side. On defense, mostly sticks to the bandit.
10 seconds to go.
We'll see how the tower defense goes. Vitality are definitely a team that
5 seconds to go.
have had success on this site. And we'll see how they try to defend it. ADS 1 is going to be set up downstairs on the T2 and up on T3 of the tower. Should be seeing a couple ADSs that are set up by our friendly neighborhood Jaeger.
This is a little bit of a slow rotation around the side. They're definitely concerned about trying to find the right angles for this attack. They need to be doing what Vitality, though. We see Vitality drone so much at the beginning of the rounds, whereas we're not seeing that from Penta. They're looking like they're face-checking a lot more. I mean, you see Pengu droning, but most of the team is actually pushing in actively and getting caught for it. Penta does almost win that fight. There we go. Finally, with a little bit of drone help.
Yeah, and that's why you see them face-checking is because they have drones in front of them. This is something that we've seen.
One, though.
More than enough. More than enough, I guess. And we see it with teams in different regions. We see it a lot in Latin America. That's the big highlight of the region. But we also see it with SK Gaming in North America. So it's definitely one important part of Siege to highlight. A drone and information relay that Penta had in their advantage. The Legion being lost early on means that he only could put down... Ooh, no.
Rolling out.
He only could put down 2 or 3 goo mines, which won't really be a huge help. A kill from Bibu though here on the Ella, just rotating in from the rear stage to make it 4-4. They're still having trouble here taking control of the top as the Lion will use up his E1D and the Russian will not work. Rafal is still alive up top as he only takes a bit of damage. Zephyr peeking in with the Mira across the map as the Habana has penetrated the defenses and Goga does have the diffuser in hand. He's going to deal with Rafal. He's playing all the way up top and he cannot win it out. Rafal yet again making it happen. Pride with the last kill as all runs out for Penta Sports. Are we looking at a potential W for Vitality to knock Penta down?
If we keep seeing these sloppy attacks from Penta, I'm feeling it. It's definitely been the case where it's not just one person getting shut down on entry. They're just feeding every single time. Like, I mean, it's only been two attacks, to be fair. But they just seem to feed right into the defenders. Every single time they push in, it's just feed, feed, feed to the same defenders for the most part. It's not the case where they're like, oh, we're trading, not a big deal. They're just like throwing bodies at the problem. You saw how much utility they wasted as well, how many drones they wasted, just trying to kill one man at the top of that tower. Whereas when you saw the exact same situation from Vitality, it wasn't just, oh, you know, we'll throw 3 people and get the kill on top. They're like, we'll just kill the guy at the top and the guy right below him every time without any kind of flaws to it. So Penta really need to learn how to attack tower from Vitality because they have it way, way better down. I mean, you saw Bibu, for example, using the lifelines versus trying to throw candelas and grenades in. It's just, I don't know, just seeming like the efficiency from Vitality on their drone game, on their intel game, on their attacks is way better. I mean, look at Zephyr up there with 10, 7 from Brid, and then the most we have from Penta is 7. I mean, it's only 1 point behind, but I have to say it. I mean, the defenses were okay from Penta, but their attacks, I'm pretty disappointed in right now.
Yeah, I think that word very much encompasses the current mindset. And you know, some people would be like, "Oh, too harsh." Blah blah. No, no, no. We know that both of these teams can play much better.
Absolutely.
There's a big difference between playing to your strength and just losing because your opponents outplayed you, and one where you have the advantages. We know how much you have in terms of pedigree and skill, yet still these small mistakes that you never really do lose it out for you.
I mean, to be fair, when we're seeing Penta in some good gunfights, they're winning pretty good in some of their gunfights in terms of, like, you see their fast reaction time, their good pre-fires, their ability to whip around on people when they're being attacked by multiple people. It's just, some of these attacks, they're just butting their head into the problem instead of, like, trying to play around whatever information they can get. You saw, for example, like I said, they threw two or three drones in to just try and get the Jaeger, and still it was just getting denied time and time again. They couldn't find the angle, whereas when we saw Rafael with his drone in tower, immediately saw the feed upstairs, done. He didn't need to throw a bunch of drones, a bunch of grenades, just to figure out what was going on. Either way, though, it is not over. Penta have time to kind of collect themselves, and they're only 1 round behind, but I do think they need to make some adjustments. We will see them at least living a bit longer this time. It is the first minute, and they're still all alive and have gotten some map control, so I'm a little more pleased with this attack so far.
T95 of Jonas rattling in, trying to push Spark back. Can drop whenever needed.
Deploying sensor.
He's going to get information from Rafal. Just know where his opponents are. There's no castle breaker to help them there, but you know, I felt pretty confident in his movement. The Habana will open up the side of the wall. C4 will get thrown out and will not connect. Prompts Rafael to drop down and to keep feeding information up to the Bandit, just so they can waste as much time as possible. The Legion as well, playing from the back.
I like how you carefully opened that as well.
Yeah, you can use the backstage to his advantage. It's a long angle, but it is reinforced. Okay, so can't really use that.
Good spotting of that goo mine. I like goo mines in that spot, of course, because if they're trying to rush in during the smoke to go for a plant there, they're going to get caught and slowed down. Makes it easier to get a smoke or C4 out. But I guess that gets pretty predictable over time. Fabian doing pretty good on these stairs, staying alive when he really shouldn't be. Zephyr finally trying to punish him, but doesn't land the shot.
And Fabian will go for the reload as should be seeing the hatch opened up. Flashbang will get thrown into the back. Zephyr is forced away for just a second as the rest of Penta will huddle in. Try to go for the push. Damage done to Zephyr. Now he slowed down on the move. The drone was getting information back to Penta. Will get shot down. They'll spot the diffuser carrier, and Bibu will land 2 kills now on the floor. Penta Sports will take damage on their Dokkaebi here. Pengu. Pengu will win it out. Bibu running in though onto Jonas, taking him out, and now he's going to contest the stairs and pre-fires 1, pre-fires 2. Bibu and Zephyr to finish it all off. You've seen this position being played by Pengu time and time again. This time, it's Vitality that give Penta a taste of their own medicine, and this guarantees a maximum of a draw and 1 point for Penta Sports.
Officially, as of this round now, Penta's streak is broken. Because they cannot win this They can at most tie. That was definitely a much better attack that round. Unfortunately, it was also very well countered by Vitality. They showed a lot of restraint in terms of how they were peeking their heads out. They weren't trying to overdo it. They weren't trying to get themselves killed. It seemed like Penta were trying to bait a lot out before they actually committed to it, but none of those baits were turning into kills for them, and because of that, Vitality were able to actually work their timing a little bit better in terms of countering whatever pressure was coming out of Penta, and because it was coming out kind of one person at a time, Vitality definitely played against it very smart in that that restraint in holding back, not overcommitting, and also not throwing too many people at it themselves didn't open up a lot for Penta to be able to take advantage of, and now, match point, we could see the first win against Penta here from Vitality, and that would, like I said, that won't necessarily hurt Penta too much, but it does end their streak and gives Vitality some chance to start to catch up to them.
Now we'll see, as Vitality are not at that top 4 position, top 3 position just yet, as of course all that matters is the top 2 really when it comes to going to LAN finals. Now this is Playday number 6. Tomorrow we'll have Playday number 7, the last one before we head to the Paris Major. We'll only be back in the second week of September, so it's going to be a while until we're back with Pro League, unfortunately, but at least we'll have a cliffhanger to end.
And this would be a heck of a cliffhanger with them finally losing their match here.
Maybe tomorrow bring it back?
Yeah, maybe. Either way, though, still a lot of good plays from Vitality. I don't want to downplay it to like the Penta are just playing bad. That's why Vitality.
They're comeback masters, for sure.
Vitality's playing very, very well, though. We'll see. Like you said, their comeback masters still could happen, but at least a win now is impossible for Penta.
Yeah.
So that much is true. We'll see what they can pull off, though, as they still have 2 rounds they could potentially bring to tie it up. But their attack rounds have so far been a bit disappointing as they've lost all 3. And this one so far a bit slow, but at least again they're not feeding bodies at the problem.
Yeah.
So.
As we saw when they had the attack on the dorms before, they kind of just, as you said, threw bodies at the problem, and unfortunately that does not work.
Ooh, here we go.
Finally we get to see a Fuse style Candela, but it's not followed up by anything.
Now it was just to kind of push them back a little bit. Kanto trying to follow it up as well with his own lifeline shots, but they're not, like you said, executing on that. Maybe just baiting that out, but not a lot of utility loss as he only used 1 of the 3 Candelas.
I would expect this to be a push from the closet, right?
Definitely
but Goga
possible.
isn't here, so the breach pellets will not, the X-Tyrus will not be used. Vide will get pushed here as the Candelas do not affect him. He will have to fall back, but the kill will come in from Fabian. Bride, though, finds the second one on Goga. He even drops one in the back, cannot go for the finisher, as Rafal will get the second. Jonas with the kill on Bride. Fabian with 1 more on Rafal. The Fuser is not set just yet. There's 2 players alive still for Vitality as the call has come in from Pengu's Dokkaebi. Phones will get silenced as Kanto finally will be going in for that diffuser plant. A minute left on the clock. That is a lot of time to play with. And the E1D will buy some more time for Penta Sports on this this attacking side for them to set up and post-plant defense positions. Fabian looking in from the hallway. Spark looking in for a potential run out, but at this point there's not much time for you to play with here. Bibi will get 1 and the identity will get detected of Spark's alibi. He peeks in from the outside. There's some shots being fired into him, and Pengu's on the floor. Cannot get taken out. They'll be spotted up in the on the roof, and Pengu will get the last kill with the SMG. 12 Penta Sports put the round on the board, and they head in to a potential tie as there's so much time in this execution that worked out for Penta.
Definitely a much better attack from them that round. It was still a little bit of a struggle in terms of that push, but it was definitely a much slower, more methodical, let's not throw bodies at the problem. You saw even them using that Candela to just kind of like tease things out along with the lifelines. We didn't see that the master bedroom push that you were expecting, but nonetheless, they had a lot of cross angles which worked out to their favor in terms of them pressuring from the window onto the generator bunks room as well as the big double window on A. So because of that, they were able to at least play some crossfire advantages and didn't just throw, you know, for example, Fabian into the window to die immediately that time. Again, though, the most they can hope for here is to win this round and tie it up. This is the final round. No overtime, no chance of winning for Penta, but you know how Fabian hates losing, so there's a good chance they will manage to bring this back, and it will end in a 5-5 tie, but that will be the first tie, and that is a good notch in Vitality's belt, nonetheless. And they still get a point out of it.
Definitely something, though. Vitality can definitely just shut it all out and take it 6-4. So, still. Rafael will start reinforcement on the tower side as they really have to worry about Fabian in this one, as Jonas, of course, has brought the Blitz again. It didn't really work out for him before, as the Ying was able to do a decent chunk of work. Didn't Candela the Legion that was set up on White Stairs, but still forced the players away. And this time he is, as I mentioned, bringing the Blitz. So it'll be interesting to see how that is played.
Well, last time it didn't seem like it was played super effectively. It was played towards this sort of rush push up the White Stairs. And I mean, obviously, like I said, Fabian dying as he came in the double window was a big part of the reason that didn't work, just because, not because Fabian did something wrong, but because that left them at a disadvantage in terms of crossfire. For example, we saw last round, the crossfire from that window was definitely part of that push working. Eunice instead coming from a different angle this time. See if that works a little bit better. Just using the Blitz to clear out more of the map instead of just immediately trying to push onto site. I mean, I do like, you know, the idea of making some rush pushes. The only problem is, of course, when you're down points already, it's a bit riskier to do. If you're up points, sure, maybe throw away a round potentially to try and get a rush win, but...
This is still all or nothing. Penta are looking at a maximum of 1 point out of this, so they gotta throw up all the spot, or the... this is a Claymore that I love here. It's a lot more difficult to actually deal with than you would expect, because it's at you know, your waist level, so you can't really see the red laser effectively.
Literally a trash Claymore. I like the play from the Alibi across the way, though, trying to deal with the crossfire from the tower, but he's got to time that well to get a shot across on anyone who's playing in that tower. But it could happen. He could definitely have an advantage there, although it looks like Kanto is going to start making his way across. Now, Eunice looks like he could be going for that White Stairs push again. He's just going to drone the bottom to make sure the rest of the west side is clear before he goes in, potentially through that window. They still have the Legion, though, and that we saw it before when we saw Brid's point of view. He has a lot of Legion mines on that White Stairs. And they unfortunately don't have a Thatcher or anything that's just going to clear that out, you know?
Jonas will scale up the side wall on the dining hall roof. No, it's just going to drop down. Just to give the diffuser to Fabian, and this screams a push like we saw before. People from the back, though, might just be able to stop this. No, Fabian is ready and is still alive. Kanto with one, Pengu with another one, and now it's a 2v4. The advantage is Penta Sports at 50 seconds on the clock. Fabian still on the outside. The Alibi taking damage. Pengu will go in for the calls, but there's so much fire and commotion that those calls will be very difficult to hear. Spark will spray into the back as he still cannot find the angle. Fabian can go in for the plan as Vide is coming up the White Stairs. He sprays in and gets the kill on Kanto. Logoga with one on Vitality. Diffuser is now on the floor. It's a 1v3 for Vide. He has a goo mine to play with.
Oh no.
No. This is a really tough angle for him to deal with, and now he's got to reload. Pengu, so much ammo in the mag. Easy kill with the SMG-12, and Penta might have lost their winning streak, but they do put at least 1 point on the board to put them on 16 total. I have to say, extremely well played from Vitality. However, that unfortunately means that we don't get an interview at the end of the day, and it's kind of another story. Vitality gets so many kills, yet they still cannot get the win.
Well, either way, though, it was, like you said, a fantastic play by Vitality to finally knock Penta down a peg. Penta, unfortunately, waiting one round too long before their comeback, as that could have been a 6-4, but instead going to be a 5-5. Like you said, though, they still get 1 point, and they were already so far ahead. But this is what we saw with Liquid as well, where they had this long streak, got a draw. That draw then turned into a loss the next time.